Hey, everybody. Hope you all are doing well out there. Having a good end of your week this week. I am excited about our little class today. Today, I would like to focus our theater talk on some of the principles that I first started covering with you guys when I first got hired at Mains'l more than 2 years ago now. Back in 2018, February of 2018 is when we started this journey together. So I wanted to review the principles of pantomime, okay, or what most people refer to as mime. But I thought it would be fun today. Today I'm going to be drinking from several cups. It is all water, so I can stay hydrated, even though these all are different types of cups. I thought it would be fun for me to show you how I break down moments when I have to do pantomime. So what I like to do is I like to get the actual objects that I'm trying to pantomime in front of me. And it is a very different thing to drink from each of these different I don't know what to call this one. This one's not really a cup. But I thought it would be fun because I've never seen a mime done with a sports water bottle. I have seen plenty of mimes done with a traditional coffee cup, and I've seen several mimes done with a more like a teacup with a saucer. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I do want to review just a few principles of pantomime with you guys. Okay, so remember the real actions. Before you try to mime something, try to use the real objects, which is why I have all of these cups out here for me today. What are the little things that you do when you drink from each one of these cups? Where is the cup? See the cup in your mind before you try to pretend that you are drinking from it. Which hand do you reach with? How many fingers do you use to pick up that cup? I will use different amounts of fingers for each of these cups, okay? What shape are your lips right before you start to take a sip? That's a very important thing to think about. What do you do after you sip? How soon do you swallow? Do you hold onto a cup forever after you've drank from it? Probably not. So when do you put the cup down is another thing to remember. Okay, so starting off, I am going to sip from each one of these cups in real life like I normally would. I'm not going to try to think about it too much. And then I'm going to discuss the things that I am thinking about before I pretend to sip from each one of these cups. Okay, so here we go. All right, I'm going to start on my right and move my way down. Okay, so first things first, the teacup, as I would call it. Okay, so that's me drinking from a real teacup with water in it. So the first thing that I can think of, now I'm going to think through my movements. The first thing I did was I reached out for this cup with 2 hands. Okay, that's not typical for me. Normally, when I'm reaching out for a cup, I reach out with 1 hand. Sometimes I grab it over the top, which is not very sanitary these days. Sometimes I grab it from the side. Sometimes I just put my hand around a cup. But with this cup, I reached out with 2 hands because I wanted to take the saucer with me. So the very first move I made was with both of my hands. And I firmly placed 1 hand underneath. It might be a little tricky for you to see at that angle, sorry. Placed 1 hand underneath the saucer, and I placed the other hand on the very small handle of this little cup. And then I lifted up both at the same time. And then I did not use all of my fingers to pick up this cup. I used 2. Maybe a little bit of a third to balance. But that is how I pick up a cup with that small of a handle. And then I took a very, very small sip. What shape are my lips? Right before I'm about to sip. Oh. What shape do my lips make when I swallow? That's interesting. I'm actually watching myself, my reflection in real time. And then placing both down at the same time. Okay, so now that I have drank from a real teacup, dun 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 dun, that teacup can go away. And now I will take a shot at pantomiming a sip from the same type of cup. Okay, here we go. Okay, how did I do out there, you guys? I don't know. I think I could have been a little bit more specific. Some mimes refer to the little moments for every single activity, for every movement that they are going to make. This comes from the French mime school, and they refer to each movement as a click. Okay? And the click always starts from the center of your body or your body's core. Okay, so if I were to exaggerate my clicks in this little small piece of pantomime, I will try to show you an exaggeration of what I mean right now. So, oh, and now my hands are moving. Oh, and now they're moving again. Oh, and now they're moving again. Okay, and placing that object back down. Okay, so I tried to put little pauses in my pantomime so you might get an idea for what I'm talking about with clicks. It's important to remember when you are beginning an action, like picking up the saucer and the cup, and when you are moving to a different action. Okay? Like raising it off the table and getting ready to sip it. Okay, I think that's a good first shot at least. So now I am going to drink from a regular sized coffee cup, what I would consider a very typical coffee cup. This is one of my favorite coffee cups. This is my Star Wars coffee cup from episode 4, A New Hope, the first Star Wars film released in 1977. So, first, I'm going to just simply drink from the cup in real life with the real stuff. Real water hanging out in here. I'm getting hydrated just while teaching you guys this little lesson on pantomime. Okay, so things we want to remember are, what are the little things that you do when you drink? Where is the cup? See it in your mind. Which hand do you reach out with? How many fingers do you use to pick it up? What is the shape of your lips? What do you do after you sip? How soon do you swallow? Do you hold on to the cup forever? Probably not. Okay, so just a little review of all those things I want you guys to think about before you try your pantomimes at home. Okay, here we go. Drinking from a regular coffee cup. Okay, a little simpler, a little bit simpler. This is a coffee cup that is very familiar to me, but it's also a size and a weight that is very familiar with me, as I drink most of my coffee out of coffee cups this size. And I'm realizing that with the table and the black background, it might be hard to see, but this is a very traditional sized coffee cup, okay? Average, I would say, an average sized coffee cup. All right, it is not light. This teacup over here was very lightweight when I was raising it up, even with water in it. This is much heavier, glass, or not glass, a much heavier cup. So you want to think about that when you are miming. Okay. So the things I'm thinking about, what are the small actions that I do? Number one, one-handed. This one was very easy for me to drink out of with one hand. I typically use my right hand because I'm a right-handed person. The grip that I use on a coffee cup of this size with this weight is involving 3 fingers very prominently, and my 4th finger kind of rests, if you will, rests on that handle. So really, I'm gonna get a closer look at my grip right here. Okay, I can see you. Really, I'm using my thumb, my index fingers, and this 4th finger is resting up against this. So I'm gonna try to remember that when I try to pantomime. Okay, so very familiar grip. I have to work a little bit harder to raise this cup up than I did the last cup. So I want to think about the weight of things. Drinking is very similar to the last cup. Just a sip is how I would normally drink a beverage from this type of a cup. And then putting it down also requires a little bit of extra focus because it is a little bit heavier. Okay, so womp, 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 womp. That one can go away. And now I'm going to take an attempt at trying to drink from an imaginary coffee cup. All right, this is my pantomime exercise for you all. I'll try to do it naturally and without the stops or the pauses of a click, okay? And then I'll try to break it down a little bit afterwards. Okay, so from what I can see, this is a very unique perspective that I am getting right now while I'm acting. Normally, I don't get to see myself in real time while I am acting. So this is kind of strange. I won't say that it's better because it's distracting. And acting is all about maintaining focus and believing in the illusions that you are trying to create, and seeing a reflection of myself in real time doing these activities is definitely messing with my focus a little bit. But I'll try to power through for you guys. This exercise, I feel like the beginning, I might have made my grasping of that coffee cup a little too light. Remember, I was talking about the weight, and I think I don't think I honored that as well as I could have in my pantomime. I think I got pretty close to the grip that I was looking for, okay? And then when you lift something that's a little bit heavier, there's a little resistance. And I think I'd like to take another shot at this to see if I can honor the weight of this cup. Okay, so here we go. One more time. Times 2. Okay, I think I was a little bit more successful. Maybe you guys can fill me in and let me know if you think how I'm doing or not doing. But I think that this pantomime is much simpler. But that does not mean that it requires less focus or less effort. And that is something very important to remember when you are acting, you guys. Just because some scenes might be a little bit easier on you than other scenes does not mean you have to try any less hard, okay? You always have to try to maintain a very, very sharp focus when you are acting. In your mind, you have to stay very focused on all of the activities that are going on a stage. Okay, so the way that I would break this down into clicks was the first motion is just with my hand. Second motion is actually finding my grip around the coffee cup's handle. My third motion is lifting with some resistance. Oh man. My next motion is pursing my lips, getting ready to place them on the edge of the coffee cup. Okay, and then sipping. And then swallowing. I swallow rather quickly after I sip. Some people let their beverage hang out in their mouth for a moment longer. Okay, if you are one of those people, please try to do a pantomime and sip in the way that you would do it, okay? So I'm not trying to tell you exactly how to do these steps. I'm just trying to break down my own personal steps so that you may do that yourself. Okay, so, and then the last action was after swallowing, setting that down. And not setting it down so far that my hand is on the table, not setting it down in a different direction, but setting it down about the same height and then letting it go. Okay, so here we go. Final exercise for the day, for our little pantomime exercise. I have never done this exercise with a sports water bottle. And the reason I chose this today is because I drink from this water bottle much differently than I drank from either of those cups. Might get a little messy around here, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I just naturally drink from this water bottle. And then I'm going to try to pantomime it. All right, here we go. That's going to be tricky. All right, so I picked up the bottle in one spot. I took it to another spot. I raised the cap with my 2 fingers, which is how I typically do it when I'm biking. So I raised the cap, and it's got quite a lot of resistance on it. And then I typically do not put my mouth on this water bottle. I just shoot the water into my mouth while I'm riding my bike. And that's what I expected to happen. And then very quickly put it right back down. Because this water bottle is pretty secure, I don't have to worry about the splash factor of setting it down quickly. Okay? So all of those things, I feel water on me. I definitely got some on myself. I hope that was fun for you guys to watch. All right, now, dun, 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 dun. That goes away, and I will take a shot at trying to mime drinking from my sports water bottle. All right. Here we go. Oh man, that is silly. And that is exactly why I selected it. Okay, so let's break it down click by click. Okay, my first click is with my right arm. Moving over to my water bottle and grasping my water bottle is my second click. My third click would be moving that water bottle to the other side of the table, only because that will help me get a better grip. My fourth click would be working my fingers up to the top of the water bottle and opening with a lot of resistance. And it's a very small amount of space that I'm trying to move, but I'm trying to show that there's a lot of resistance. After I have it open, I re-grab the water bottle, I raise it, and then point it towards my mouth and squeeze. Trying to drink all of that water that I just squeezed into my mouth, and then placing that water bottle down as my final click. Okay, I hope this was fun for you guys today. I hope that you guys try some miming of your own at home. Tell me how you guys did. Feel free to jot comments in here, even if this is after the fact. I will see them, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed our little experiment today on pantomime. And I will see you all again next week. Have a fabulous weekend. Stay safe out there. And I hope you all are staying healthy as well. All right, you guys, have a wonderful afternoon.